The throne, behind the throne, the seat I do not need. This is a story about three Angelteers who arrive at a royal city where everyone competes for the highest seat because they believe being first will finally make them safe. Their 30-second, miracle-minded adventure begins when they discover that accepting second place is not becoming less. It is giving up the exhausting job of trying to lead what love already knows how to guide. The three Angelteers reached Firstplace Kingdom beneath a golden arch. A trumpet sounded. "Welcome to the Great Ascent." Spider Monkey looked up. At the center of the city rose a tremendous staircase. At the very top sat a golden throne. A sign read, "First place, the seat that decides everything." Hundreds of citizens climbed toward it. Some carried maps, some carried certificates, some elbowed politely, some did not bother with politely. Howler Monkey stared at the throne. "I have always felt unusually qualified for elevated seating." Squirrel Monkey read another sign. "Whoever sits first chooses the road, makes the plan, and decides what happens next." Squirrel's eyes widened. "That is a great deal of responsibility." Spider grinned. "You say that like you want it." "I say that like I have already begun organizing it." They joined the climb. Halfway up, Spider passed a woman struggling with 2 baskets. He almost stopped. Then he looked at the throne. "If I help, someone may get ahead of me." Howler nodded solemnly. "The tragedy of kindness." Squirrel climbed faster. "If we reach the top first, then we can help everyone properly." Spider paused. "That sounds suspiciously familiar." At the next landing stood 3 mirrors. Spider's read, "I know what should happen." Squirrel's read, "I can make a better plan." Howler's read, "Everyone should listen to me." Howler folded his arms. "This kingdom has become invasive." The staircase narrowed. People argued over who should go first. A merchant shouted, "My needs are more important." A scholar called, "I know more." A guard yelled, "Someone must take charge." Squirrel felt the old pull. "Organize them, fix this, lead." Then he became quiet. "What am I feeling?" Spider answered for himself. "Very interested in being right." Howler sighed. "I am experiencing leadership urges." Squirrel smiled. "What is this for?" The question created a little space. He remembered the mountain road, the maps blowing away, the lantern illuminating only a few steps, following instead of leading. He looked at the throne again. "What if the problem isn't who gets first place?" Spider blinked. "What else would it be? What if we're fighting for a job that was never ours?" Just then, a child slipped near the lower stairs. The woman with the baskets dropped one and caught him. Her place in line disappeared immediately. She did not seem concerned. Howler watched her. "She just became 37th. Spider nodded, "and somehow the universe remains intact." They stepped out of line and helped gather the fallen fruit. Citizens hurried past them toward the throne. One man shouted, "You're losing your place." Squirrel looked upward. "Maybe." Then inwardly, "I accept the second place to gain the first." The words felt different now. Second place was not humiliation. It was relief. He did not have to occupy the throne of his own mind as supreme planner, judge, and director. There could be another leadership. They continued climbing, but no longer to win. At the top, the throne stood empty. The royal steward looked confused. "You were among the leaders. Why didn't you race?" Squirrel smiled. "We got distracted by what was helpful." The steward pointed toward the throne. "Someone must sit there and decide the future." Howler approached it. He placed one hand dramatically on the armrest. Spider whispered, "Here we go." Howler looked at the seat, then laughed. "No." The steward gasped. "You refuse first place?" Howler turned toward his friends. "I've spent a great deal of my life trying to sit there." Spider nodded. "Usually without an invitation." Howler smiled. "And every time I thought peace would come after everyone agreed with me." Squirrel looked at the throne. Peace and control keep pretending to be the same thing. Spider removed his feathered hat and placed it on the throne. "There, someone important is sitting there." They laughed. The steward did not. "But if you do not lead yourselves, who does?" Squirrel became very still. "Maybe that is what we have been learning all along." Spider looked at his wings. "You know, we never really became angels." Howler spread his wings proudly. "These remain persuasive evidence." Squirrel laughed. "Monkey-tear was a name for when we kept discovering how the monkey mind worked." "An angel-tear?" asked Spider. "Maybe another name for learning to listen instead of automatically following it." Howler nodded. So the monkey did not disappear. No. He just stopped getting the throne every time he shouted? Squirrel grinned. That sounds about right. The steward slowly looked at the golden seat. What do we do with it? Spider shrugged. Make it a bench. By sunset, the throne had been moved into the town square. Anyone could sit there. Children ate apples on it. An old woman rested her feet. A musician used one armrest for his hat. Nobody became ruler. As the Angelteers prepared to leave, the steward asked, What if two wishes still compete in my mind? Squirrel answered quietly. Then perhaps the choice can be uncompromising. The steward raised an eyebrow. Uncompromising? Not harsh, just clear. Squirrel placed a hand over his heart. If I truly want peace, I cannot secretly reserve first place for fear, control, and my private plan. Howler smiled. No side throne. Spider nodded. No emergency crown. They laughed. The road ahead was quiet. Tomorrow there would still be decisions, preferences, old habits, moments when Monkey Mind wanted to climb back onto the throne. But they had learned something. Being second did not mean becoming powerless. It meant allowing power to come from somewhere deeper than personal control. Squirrel looked toward the evening road. Where now? Spider smiled. I thought you knew. Squirrel shook his head. Howler spread his wings. Excellent. For once, nobody rushed to be first. They waited. Then one direction quietly became clear, and together they followed. Miracle-minded remembrance, I accept the second place to gain the first. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.